My name is Judy Kinsinger. I live in Royal Bonnet. I have been here for 8 years, but at Shell Point for 12 years. About 1977, my mom was reading a Yankee magazine and found out how someone had taken a dried tree trunk, carved an ornament, and then put it on their tree every year, and she thought that would be a great project for my dad. So for the next 34 years, either my parents, my brother, or I saved part of our tree trunk, maybe about a foot. We gave it to him, he dried it out for a year, and then would be the big decision in the fall of what he was going to make that year. Often it tied in with something going on in our family. And I'll tell you about it, just a few of them. He lived in Massachusetts, so of course we had to have a Nantucket whale. And as a New Englander, he did all these very clever things. This is a ball that was carved inside of that rectangle. Another thing he made was, later on when he was at Shell Point, he made a gingerbread boy, but he had lost the feeling in his 2 carving fingers from carpal tunnel surgery, so his designs had to be a bit more simple. And I asked him, "Dad, where are the gingerbread boy's arms?" And he said, "Well, they're in his pockets." We had 5 members in our family. I have mom and dad, 2 brothers and me, so he carved this endless chain. This tree has been in the family now for 34 years, and my parents kept it on their lanai in Nautilus for the 16 years they lived here. I would get them the tree from Canada every year, and they would put the ornaments on it. So now it is my tradition to carry on, and I will pass it on to my nephew one day. So for all of 30 plus years, my main tree that I had decorated was my tree. So for over 30 years, I have invited friends over to my home for dinner on the first Saturday in December. And I give them a nice dinner. We decorate the table with my best dishes, and we have a meal. And then I say to them, "Now, while I clean up this mess, I want you to decorate my tree, or my trees now." And they very gladly do it, and it's just fun to see them look at all the ornaments. Sometimes they ask me, "Where did you get this, and what's the story behind this?" And they love decorating my dad's tree now. And all of these decorations have been given to me by friends, either at Shell Point or when I lived in Northern Virginia over the years. And when my 3 friends come over, they decorate both trees now, while I clean up from the meal I've provided, and then if they do a good job, they get dessert. But these are all full of stories. Thank you for joining me, and have a very Merry Christmas.
I'm Ruth McGuire, and I live in Harbor Court. And I've always had a big Christmas tree. Our whole family always had big Christmas trees. So I put up a big Christmas tree out there in the lanai. But I got tired of doing that. There was so much storage stuff and so much work. And so I decided to go to a Florida type Christmas. So this is my first Christmas tree here. And I did it in the colors that I like, because I like things that are real cheery. So that's how I have this one. And if you notice, there's a seahorse up there, and there's a reindeer and snowflakes. So we still have Christmas, but in a different vein. And I don't do the traditional like I used to. Now I have a more modern approach, as you can see by my manger scene and my feather tree. And of course, I purchased this from Martha Stewart, but I changed the ornaments. I used my ornaments instead of hers, so it would be a little bit more glitzy. And I like something that is not as traditional now that I live in Florida. This little decoration down here I picked out because I wanted something that had light. And if you see these different Christmas trees, they all light up, and at night they look wonderful. And I have a number of different ones set up, so the house has a nice Christmassy look to it in the evening also. Now here's another decoration we have on the dining room table, because I like to have little spots of Christmas in different places. So when you enter any room, it looks like Christmas without the giant Christmas tree. And this one lights up at night too. And as you can see, here we are in the kitchen, and here's a little spot of Christmas for me when I'm doing things here in the kitchen. So every room has a little bit of Christmas. This decoration I did because it lights up at night and it gives a wonderful glow here on the lanai, and it looks like a holiday without being a big tree. And over there in the corner I used to put the big tree, but now I don't have all the work, and I'll show you what I do now, which is much easier. And because I do such a simple Christmas, this is the storage, these 3 containers. How easy is that? No more big boxes and lugging stuff and putting up things. It's much nicer for me. No Christmas is complete without Matilda. She gets her own clothes, her own outfit, and her own Christmas tree. Of course, this Christmas tree folds up to a little box like this. It can't have anything big. And a few Christmas ornaments on the tree. Merry Christmas.
I'm Marjorie White, and my husband is Warren White. We've lived in Sundial for 7 years, and for those 7 years, we've helped decorate for Christmas, which is our favorite, very favorite season. And in order to do this, no one was exempt in this building. They all had to help, and they have graciously helped and helped with the decorations. And the greatest thing about this whole thing is that they're a big part of it. This is their home. They're decorating it. They decorate the tree with some of their own decorations as well. Someone brings down coffee and usually cookies, homemade cookies. And we all have a wonderful time decorating the tree and having a cup of coffee and getting together in the lobby.
In the front of the building, there is a nativity scene which had been donated by one of the residents. And the lobby, we have a garland with lights, and the lights go around the lobby. And then there's a lighted Christmas tree that turns 360 degrees on a rotating basis. Up on the first floor, there is another Christmas tree, and then that was a new addition last year. Then on each floor above, 2, 3, and 4, we have 30-inch battery-operated lighted wreaths. Right in front of the elevators, we have the garland that is lighted, and you can see here as well.
And everyone decorates their porches as well and takes great pride in how their porches look for Christmas. And each year they seem to have a little more decoration. Christmas season is so special to us and has always been very special for us and our family. But I think that now it has become very special to our building, Sundial. And of course, in our own apartment, we have a great tradition too, and we'd like to show you that. When we first moved to Sundial, we didn't have a Christmas tree because we moved to Florida with a few boxes. That was it. And so we decided, what are we going to do for a Christmas tree? And we loved the beach, we loved gathering shells, and we loved the different colors and compositions of everything. So I thought, okay, we're going to make a shell tree, but the idea of making a shell tree like this is really to make it in many colors, not all one color. So it becomes a point of interest, and you can stand and look at this tree and pick up on many, many things within this tree. And that concludes a wonderful tour of Shell Point's Sundial building, which we are delighted and happy with, and I'm sure we'll always be happy with.
And from all of us at Sundial, we wish you and your family a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Amen to that.